Every men's circle has the same scene. A man in the middle beating a pillow, screaming at his father, while others witness his breakthrough. This isn't shadow work, it's shadow theatre, performance dressed up as process, exhibition designed as excavation, drama mistaken for depth. Real shadow work happens in silence, in the mundane moments when no one's watching, when you catch yourself mid-reaction, when you notice the pattern before it completes, when you choose differently without announcement. But that's not theatrical enough for the modern masculine. They need drama, they need catharsis, the witnesses, the applause. I went really deep today. I met my shadow. I released so much rage. I finally faced my darkness. And then they go home and live the same patterns, react the same ways, avoid the same truth. Because they performed exorcism of their shadow instead of integrating it. They displayed their darkness instead of digesting it. They exhibited their wound instead of evolving beyond it. The shadow isn't something you meet in a workshop. It's not something you face in a ceremonial container. It's also not something you release through emotional expression. The shadow is what governs you when you're not performing depth. It's the automatic response in traffic. It's the subtle manipulation in relationship. It's the hidden agenda in generosity. And it doesn't get integrated through dramatic confrontation. It's integrated through boring vigilance, through daily awareness, through mundane choosing, through quiet accountability. But the problem is, there's no audience for that. No one to witness your depth. No one to validate your process. No one to applaud your courage. So men keep choosing theatre. They schedule their shadow work like appointments. They contain it to circles. They perform it for witnesses. Every Thursday, I do shadow work. In ceremony, I meet my darkness. With my men's group, I go deep. But shadow doesn't follow schedules. It doesn't respect containers. It doesn't wait for witnesses. Shadow operates 24/7, 365 in every interaction, across the scope of your life, across all vectors, in every choice, in every breath, in every moment. The man doing real shadow work doesn't talk about it, he doesn't perform it, and he doesn't schedule it, he lives it. Every moment becomes shadow work when you're actually committed to seeing what you don't want to see. Every interaction becomes integration when you're willing to own what you're actually doing. Every choice becomes evolution when you stop performing consciousness and instead start embodying it. But embodiment isn't dramatic, it's not cathartic, and it's not theatrical. It's quiet, it's boring, it's invisible. It's catching yourself about to lie and choosing truth instead. It's noticing yourself seeking validation and approval and instead sitting with the emptiness. It's feeling the rage rise and choosing stillness instead of reaction. No drums, no screaming, no witnesses. Just a man changing at the cellular level through microscopic choices. The theatrical shadow work has its place. Sometimes you need to scream. Sometimes you need to rage. Sometimes you need to grieve. But if that's all you're doing, if that's where it stops, if that's how you measure progress, then you're not doing shadow work, you're doing shadow performance. And performance, no matter how convincing, doesn't create transformation. Only integration does. And integration happens in the spaces between performance, in the ordinary Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, when no one's watching, in the triggered moment when you choose differently, in the silent recognition of what you've been avoiding. The men still performing their shadows are easy to spot. They're the ones who need you to know how deep they've gone. They're the ones who catalogue their shadow work and collect trophies. They're the ones who schedule darkness like it's a dentist appointment. But the men actually integrating shadow are largely invisible. They don't announce their process, they don't perform depth, they don't exhibit their evolution. They just quietly become less driven by unconscious patterns, less reactive, less manipulative, less performative, day by day, choice by choice, breath by breath, moment by moment. No theatre required, no audience necessary, no validation needed. Just the slow, boring work of actually facing yourself and choosing to evolve without anyone knowing you've changed. That's real shadow work. Everything else, as I've said, is just shadow theatre, and the field knows the difference. Welcome to The Architect Speaks.